You may have noticed in the communication, I have promised whether you come to the presentation or not, I will be sending the recording out to everybody. So hopefully that means that you can just sit back and you can enjoy and not worry too much about taking notes because you have the option to go back and watch it again. So I do want to start by thanking everyone so much for being here. I know that if you're here today, you're someone who either owns your own business or you sell something for a business and you need new leads and new customers to succeed. And I'm also going to assume that you're very busy, so we're not going to waste time. I'm so excited that you chose to be here, and I want to tell you up front what my intentions are for you to get out of this webinar. So first of all, we're going to learn the difference between word of mouth and a referral campaign, and hopefully along the way you're going to see why that's so important. Next, we're going to learn how you can get the most out of each type of campaign for your business. And then we're going to finish out by learning what you can do specifically to get more leads and to convert those leads with a minimal budget. And at the end of all this, if you do get all this and even more, then I've done my job. And if you don't, and it's possible that some of you won't get all the value that I'm hoping for today for any number of reasons, then please call me or email me and let's set up a one-on-one conversation. Here's my phone number. Here's my email address. I'm really committed that everybody get a lot of value for devoting an hour of your time with me today. So if you want to discuss something further or you want to make a comment, I'm here and I really would encourage you to reach out. All right, let's get started. So before we dive in, you may be wondering who I am. So let me take a moment and just tell you a little bit about me. So I am Jody Lane. I'm the CEO of Expect Referrals, and I've been a professional marketer for the last 25 years. I've had quite a diverse history that has all pointed and prepared me to the path of referral marketing. I'm going to pause for a second because it looks like people are having trouble hearing. There's no sound? Can everybody hear me? Let's see, I'm going to check. Can everyone hear? Take a second and see if, people are saying yes. Okay, good. So we're going to go ahead and continue. So as I mentioned, I have been a marketer for the last 25 years, and I've had a diverse background. So first, my career started as a political direct mailer. My job was to write direct mail for candidates who are running for office to get people to vote for them. Then I left that career and I spent a few years working on staff with the Muscular Dystrophy Association. After a few years of doing that, I actually started my own digital marketing agency here in Orlando in 2003 called Barnett Murphy with my former partner, Chuck Barnett. At that agency is where, people are saying they're only hearing hold music. Okay, let's make sure everybody, I apologize again for pausing. I'm just going to write another message in the chat to make sure people are on. Make sure that you are logging in. So make sure you are calling in. Number above. Okay. Okay. I'm actually going to keep going. I'm not going to stop those of you who can hear me, and anyone who's having any trouble, of course, they'll get the recording at the end because I want to keep our time on target. Okay, so back to me. This is the longest explanation of me. So while I was at the business, the agency, we created a software product called Expect Referrals, which is a referral marketing software. And I decided to leave the agency in 2012 to focus my attention full-time on Expect Referrals. I did, however, take a brief moment in 2014, 2015, and I worked with a company here in Orlando called Designzillas, a web design company, as their director of sales and marketing, and we created a brand new inbound marketing division, and that was a great year of my life. But in the end, decided to leave and come back to do Expect Referrals. So that's a little bit about me. Before we dive in, though, to learning about referral campaigns, I want to just stop for a second and give you a little bit of history about Expect Referrals and how it came about, because it kind of relates to what we're going to learn today. So while I was at Barnett Murphy back in 2008, there was a recession. You might have remembered it. And we offered a very high-end personalized direct mail product. And people were having a difficult time paying for that because they were suffering in their businesses. They didn't have the money to continue to market. So we knew that we needed to do something, one, to keep ourselves alive, and two, to help our clients, because if they weren't marketing through this recession, they were going to have a real difficult time staying in business when the recession ended. So our team got together, and we started to think about what we could do. And through that process, I actually went to my hair salon. And I walked in the door, and the receptionist behind the desk said to me, Jody, we've got this really cool campaign going on. We're going to give you these 10 business cards, and we put your name on the back, and we want you to hand them out. And if any of your friends walk in with a card, we're going to give them a free haircut, and next time you come back, you will have earned a 20% off coupon toward your next service. And I thought that was really cool. So I went out, and I'm kind of chatty, so I talked to all my friends, and I gave out all the cards. And lo and behold, 6 weeks later, I walk back in, and the receptionist says, oh, Jody, guess what? One of your friends came in. You get the 20% off service this time. And I thought, wow, there's 9 people who said they were going to come try you guys out, and you have no idea who they were. And that's when the light bulb went off. See, that's when I realized that most businesses, if you ask them what's the number one way they get new business, they'll tell you it's from word of mouth or referrals. Yet at the time, there was no formal way to automate or track word-of-mouth conversations. So it was not something that anyone was thinking about in terms of a marketing tactic. So that's where we stepped in. Our team created a software platform that enables businesses to automate, manage, and track a referral program so that the conversations that were happening anyway could be used as a lead generation and sales tool. And that's what Expect Referrals is. Now, today we're not going to spend a lot of time talking about the software and what it does. That's not what we're here for. We are going to focus our time today, though, is to discuss what and how we can leverage word of mouth and referral conversions to improve your profits. All right, let's begin. So one of the main goals of today's presentation is to share with you the distinct difference between word of mouth and a referral campaign. One is going to happen whether you do anything about it or not, and the other is an intentional way to get people to talk about and generate new interest for your business. And the result of referral campaigns is a bunch of new leads. But let's look at word of mouth first. So word of mouth is simply the act of one person telling another person about a business, product, or service. The sharing is done as a conversation, and it can't be tracked or managed. It looks something like this. So John tells his friend Lisa that he's planning a birthday party for his wife's birthday dinner for his wife's 40th birthday, and he wants to make it very special, romantic, and even elegant. So Lisa tells John to visit the Palm restaurant because they've got great food, an elegant atmosphere, and they cater to guests who are celebrating milestone achievements and will surely make his wife feel special for his birthday. Now, most likely the Palm restaurant is a place that Lisa's been to before or she heard other people talk about, and she felt confident recommending it to her friend. In this scenario, all the Palm has to do is take excellent care of its people, and in return, people say good things and recommend them. Now, the Palm restaurant will likely never know that Lisa referred John, and that's okay because the Palm restaurant got a new customer, and if they treat John as well as they treated Lisa, they are likely to have a new loyal and repeat customer in him who will also tell others about his experience when asked. And until 2006, that's pretty much the only way word of mouth ever happened. But in 2006, a little thing called Facebook, they launched their news feed feature, and a new platform for word of mouth advertising began. See, Facebook users could post about what they were doing, where they were shopping, where they were staying, where they were eating, and an implied new version of word-of-mouth approach began. A post might read something like, my husband and I are having the most romantic dinner ever at the Palm restaurant. The food is so yummy and the service is amazing. What a night. And a friend might read that post and then go and try the Palm restaurant as a result. At the same time this was happening, another little-known social platform known as Twitter was supporting the same trend. And the rest, well, you can figure it out. Posts and reviews on Yelp and TripAdvisor and Instagram and Pinterest and so much more has made word of mouth even more popular. The philosophy is treat your customers well and give them a great product or service, And when they post about you in a positive manner, it could result in a new customer. So now let's take a second and let's go look at what a referral campaign is. A referral campaign is slightly different. In a referral campaign, you're actually asking someone to refer you or share a deal a deal that you're offering in a way that will generate new business. Referral campaigns often use some kind of incentive reward for the person doing the sharing in order to encourage them to refer or share. But the biggest difference between word of mouth and a referral campaign is the way the referee shares with their friends, family, and everyone. Instead of just talking about the business in a referral campaign, the referral is made actually online by sending something to a potentially interested friend. A common way of doing it is to send an email, and the email address of that referral is captured by the business. Therefore, instead of just getting a possible new sale, they get an actual new lead. Since there is no guarantee that the referral will make the choice to go buy from the referred business, this lead is extremely valuable because the business can stay in touch with the referral and continue to market to them until they're ready to buy or they unsubscribe, indicating that their relationship is officially over. So let's take a look at what a referral campaign might look like. Now, I will be honest and tell you that I'm using the Expect Referrals platform to show you this, but there is a multitude of ways that you can get this done. There are other referral marketing softwares, and there are things you can build yourself. But for ease for myself, I'm going to use an actual live referral campaign that uses Expect Referrals, which is the Rosen JCC, just so that you can get a feel for what a referral campaign might look like. So it all starts with the business creating some sort of a deal for their customers to share and then promoting that. So here you can see there's an email that went out to all the current members. There's a banner ad that went out probably on their Facebook page or in other emails. And so the first thing we do is we promote the campaign. Then the person who wants to refer, in this case the member, goes to a landing page, and on that landing page a little bit more information about how they refer, what their offer is, and they can get the whole process started. Then the referee, the person who's going to do the sharing, actually signs up. And this is key because that email address is how we track all the referrals that this person is going to make. They can then refer people via email, and the great thing about using a software is it sends an email that is pre-created, so it's got all the right messaging, all the right things that you want it to say that goes out to their friend. They can also post on Facebook and Twitter, which is a great way to get a much deeper and further reach beyond just the people that you have email addresses for. The referee can actually post on their social media so that more people can be aware of the referral offer. And then last but not least, which is a very popular way to refer, is a personal sharing link. So members of the JCC can send their friends a link to a landing page where they can sign up to get the referral offer and essentially then tracking and giving that referral back to the referee. And once referrals are made in all 4 different ways, then the prospect, the lead, gets an email that is usually done first person because it's coming from the referee, and it talks about the value and why they should be interested in what the JCC is offering. And that's how it goes. So we've now identified what word of mouth is and referral campaigns are. So let's delve into each and see what value you can get from both for your business. Let's start with the value of word of mouth. So clearly, based on our examples before, word of mouth is a more passive approach. But just because it's not aggressive doesn't mean there isn't value. Here are some of the biggest benefits to word of mouth. First, it can a greater potential to reach a much bigger audience than advertising. I mean, this is pretty obvious, right? Your customers are reaching people that they know, not necessarily that you know. The next one, there is no cost for it to happen. As a matter of fact, it's going to happen whether you want it to or not. It's just natural, and there's nothing for you to do and nothing for you to pay in order to get that kind of exposure. Friends and family are a much more trusted resource than business, and we're going to learn more about this as the presentation goes on, that people trust what their friends and family say far more than what you say as a business because we're used to marketing and advertising and things that, maybe stretch the truth a little bit. And even if you don't do that, there's that perceived notion that it's being done, so therefore they trust the people that they know closest to them first. Another benefit, you may get a new customer, right? That's the whole goal. And your current customer feels good when they share about you. So they may not even be thinking about referring you, but someone asks, hey, I'm going to go bowling with my family this weekend. Can you give me a recommendation of where to go? Oh, yeah, I've been to King's. That place is really awesome. And memories come up in their head, and they really have that a momentary moment of feeling good. So what about the benefits of a referral campaign? So again, based on our description, a referral campaign is more of a marketing tactic that you might include in your overall campaign. And one of the reasons for this is that the referee has to take that action, remember, to make the referral, beyond just telling the friend about the business. And some incentive is often offered up for taking the time to take that action. But that action that they take is the important key element because it produces an email address, which is used to deliver the information, and that email address is your new lead. So here are some of the biggest benefits of a referral campaign. Just like word of mouth, it has a greater potential to reach a much bigger audience. That's good. The cost is low. Now, there is some cost to a referral campaign if done right because that incentive that's being offered is considered a cost. So that's a cost for acquisition. So that's something we need to consider. Again, friends and family, much more trusted resource than the advertising that a business does. We already covered that. You may get a new customer, same as word of mouth. It's not guaranteed, but it's pretty likely. And again, your customer feels good when they share about you. But there's more. It also builds awareness in a closed environment. So with the word of mouth, your customers are sharing about you, but you really don't know what they're saying. You don't have any control of what they're saying. But in a referral campaign, when you're having an email sent that you've already created or a post being put on that you've already drafted, you know what's being said about you, and that's a little bit of a better feeling. You'll definitely get new leads. That's the whole point. Every single referral that is made is a new lead for you, whether they buy or not. It encourages repeat business from your customers. So your current customer can earn something for their trouble, which makes them happy. And it can definitely be something that gets them to buy again, which can generate more repeat business, which is good. Conversions of referrals are much higher. Now, that's not because the referral is better. It's because, as we mentioned before, we're capturing that referral as a lead, and you have the opportunity to follow up with that lead long past the time the referral was made, which ultimately ends in much higher conversions. And you can predict future sales, especially when you integrate software tools that you're using for your referral campaign that can give you statistics and give you charts and graphs and better analytics so that you can see trends and you can see which messages work better, and you can really start to hone in and craft your promotion and see when the times of the year are that you're going to have a better referral conversion. And, of course, my favorite is if you're using the right tools, everything can be automated. Every single piece of the puzzle can be automated. Now, while both word of mouth and referral campaigns add value to your business, there are some downsides to each that we must know before we commit. So let's take a look at those. We'll start, of course, with word of mouth. So we mentioned this before. You really have no control over what people are saying about you, and you will never know if it's negative. So that's sort of a drawback. Not that there's anything you can do about it, but it's something that you should just be aware of. It also could leave you with some online reputation management issues. So if the word of mouth is negative online, then that's something that you have to deal with. Now, I actually think that's a good thing. Because if people are talking negative about you offline, you don't know. If they talk about you negatively online, you can know about it. Therefore, you can do something about it. And we are going to talk about that in just a little bit. You can't predict or forecast your future sales because you really don't know when word of mouth is going to kick up. You might be able to make some assumptions. You might be able to guess, but you really can't use any kind of statistical analysis to predict how things are going to go. And you can't ever follow up because you've generated no lead. You don't know about the referral until the referral becomes a customer, so there's nothing else you can do to really foster that. Some of the drawbacks of referral campaigns. It does have some expense to it. As we mentioned before, it's a minimal expense in compared to paid advertising or direct mail or some other marketing tactics, but if you do it right with some sort of an incentive, there can be some expense to it. And it does require some strategy and setup. Now, I'm going to be completely honest with you. If you try to do a referral campaign without thinking about it, without setting it up properly, it's going to crash and burn. It's not going to give you the results that you want. So you absolutely want to consider that to have a good referral campaign, you need to devote some time to coming up with a strategy and setting it up, which this presentation is going to get you started on that. And then we're going to, at the end, talk about some ways to help you do that further. And you have to promote your referral campaign for it to work. There's just no way around that. If you create it and no one knows about it, no one's going to use it, and therefore it's not going to give you the results. So promoting it is definitely something that you're going to have to do. But here's the good news. You don't have to choose. This presentation is not about picking which is better, word of mouth or referrals. It's about educating you that there is a difference between the two. And why that's so important is because a lot of businesses, and you might be one of them, don't take any action to get referrals. See, these kind of businesses act as if referrals are something that just happen, and so they don't put any effort behind it. So my goal for today, the one important point I want you to walk out of today with, is to understand that there is a difference between word of mouth and referral marketing. And begin to look for yourself. I mean, maybe as the presentation goes on, start to think, is there anything that you can do or add to your marketing that will earn you more leads, more customers, and more money? So what can we get? What can we do? What can we actually physically do to get the most out of each of these types of campaigns? Well, we're going to start with the word of mouth. How do you get the biggest bang from your womb? Well, 100% of you have some sort of word of mouth. If you have customers, you have some sort of word of mouth going on out there. People are talking about you. Whether it's good or bad or indifferent, it doesn't matter. They are talking about you in some way. So here are some actionable things that you can do to ensure that the conversations they're having about you are serving you the most. All right, first, treat your customers incredibly well. And this may sound obvious, but no matter what you sell, there is somebody out there who will buy it. And as much as your customer wants to have what you sell, the fastest way to lose their loyalty is to not give them a great experience. News of a bad customer experience reaches more than twice as many ears as praise for good customer experience. The best way to stop the spreading of negative reviews is to just treat everybody with kindness and integrity and give them your best. All right, next, provide top quality products and services. Have you ever gone to a restaurant and it's incredibly good, and then you wait a little while and you go back like a few months later and it isn't as good? This happens a lot with businesses, and it isn't on purpose. But often when you're just starting out, you've got the time and the energy to pay attention to every single detail, and you can be at your best. But when success starts to hit, it's easy to cut corners so that you can be more efficient to get more done. What I'm saying is don't do that. Shop yourself every few months. Make sure that you and your team and your staff and everyone is providing your best work every day, and your customers will absolutely notice, and that's what they're going to share about you. All right, in that same line, train every frontline staff member in great customer service. If you've got people that talk to your customers, whether they're acting as cashier or receptionist or bookkeeper or front-end host, it will be to your benefit if you train every person to treat all your customers and your future customers, your prospects, your leads, as if they were your $1 million customer. It's the little things that people notice, and it's the little things they tell their friends about. An unfriendly receptionist, for example, can set the tone for all future conversations, and that can easily translate into a snowball effect of bad experiences. And when that happens, it's right to Yelp or TripAdvisor your customer will go, and you don't want that to happen. And next, pay attention to what's being said about you online. As you know, the internet is written in ink, not in pencil. And if one of your customers tells just one friend about a bad experience that they had interacting with your business, that might be as far as it goes. But when a customer talks bad about you on Facebook and Yelp and Twitter and so on, thousands and thousands of people could potentially read that negative review. So be smart and pay attention to what's being said about you online, and take two important actions. The first is always respond. The only thing worse than a bad online review is one that has no response from the business, offering how to make the situation better. Even if you're not in the wrong, still, it's good to respond. And number two, learn from your mistakes. Maybe the negative review is something that really happened, and don't take it personally. Just learn from it, make some changes in your process, and just strive to be better. And last but not least, consider any negative feedback as a gift. Here's a quote. For every customer who bothers to complain, 26 other customers remain silent. That's according to the White House Office of Consumer Affairs. So customer feedback is gold. Come up with internal processes to track complaints and find ways to fix them. Also, do everything in your power to make it easy for your customers to give feedback. There's nothing more frustrating than being upset with a business and finding it a difficult process to let you know about it. I know it takes time to sift through that feedback and it adds a little more work on your plate, but the value to your business is completely worth it. Okay, so how can you get the most from a referral campaign? Now it's time to talk about the referral campaign. Now remember, a referral campaign is different because when someone shares about you, they're doing it in a more controlled environment online, and you capture the referral information even if that referral doesn't call or buy from you right away. If you already run a referral or social sharing campaign, or this presentation so far has started you thinking that it might be a good idea to get going on one, well, here are a few things that you can do to get the most from your program. Number one, give to get, but be smart about it. The first question anyone ever asks me about their referral campaign is, what should my incentive be? Now, this is really a hard question for me to answer just completely across the board, but the premise is the same for everyone. You need an incentive that is attractive enough to get either the referee to make the referral or the referral to pick up the phone and call. But you have to consider the cost for these incentives is your acquisition cost for getting the lead. See, if you sell something that's like $10, don't give away a $25 gift card for every referral. And if you offer a service that's $10,000, then you've got some profit margin in there to give a little more to get just the lead. In either case, to maximize your profit, you can consider making your incentive something that they only get when a purchase is made, like buy one, get one free or 10% off their next bill. Think about it. There are safe ways to give away an incentive and not break the bank, but always be smart about it. Consider what you're selling. If you're a dentist, then you can give away a deal on the next visit because rarely do people only go to the dentist once in their life, we hope. But if you sell something like furniture that people only buy a few years, it's a little bit harder for them to come back and use that discount. Choose wisely, but always make the incentive exciting enough to inspire an action. Even if someone might refer you anyway, that's not the point. The key here is to use the incentive to get them to do what you want them to do, which is to refer you online. That way, you get the lead. So think about it. How can you stop to get them to pay attention, stop what they're doing, and take the action? All right, enough about that. Next. You have to get the conversation going. So here's something that you, I'm sure, already knew, but I'm going to say it anyway. If you create the world's most awesome referral program, if no one knows about it, then it isn't going to work. You've got to promote your campaign to your customers or to the world, depending on what the campaign is, so people know how and where to refer. But here's the part about it you may not think about. You have to promote it a lot. My rule of thumb is to get the opportunity in front of people at least 3 times in a month in 3 different channels. For example, you could send an email. You could post about it on social. You can add it to your invoices. You can hang a sign in your store. If you brainstorm, you could probably think of a lot of ways to put the opportunity out there to keep it front of mind, and that's what it takes to make it successful. Next, referral campaigns are not once and done. Are you in it to win it? This is about mindset. Now, as I mentioned before, my background, I started my career in direct marketing. I used to be able to predict for a customer how much money they were going to get from a direct mail piece and in what time frame the sales would be made. Guess what? That's not how referral campaigns work. To be completely cliche, a referral campaign is a marathon, not a sprint. Once your campaign is created, consider it something that needs to be promoted ongoing, and you will continue to see leads and sales come from it consistently as time goes on. If at somewhere along the line you need a little boost, create like a short-term killer incentive prize and promote the heck out of it, but then go back to that consistent nature of a referral campaign. Your customers, they meet new people every day. So if you're patient and you're consistent, you will see continued results month after month, year after year. But if you're expecting a quick boost in sales from a short-run campaign, you're probably going to be disappointed. All right, next, integrate the referral campaign into your overall marketing picture. If you're out to achieve maximum results with your referral campaign, then it needs to be a part of a much larger marketing plan. Simply put, a great marketing plan has three basic components to it. There's lead generation, finding new people, new prospects. There's lead nurturing, nurturing those prospects toward them making a purchase. And then there's customer retention, keeping customers engaged so they stick around to be great customers. Now, I'm really simplifying things here, I know, but this is the basis of a good plan. Referrals can be used to generate new leads and as customer retention. So cross-utilize your referral offer in all your other marketing endeavors, and you will see amazing results will arise from that kind of synergy. Next, keep things interesting. Now, I've mentioned this before, but it's absolutely worth repeating. Your happy customers will share about you. They will. It's called word of mouth. But asking them to take a specific action when they share requires a little more effort, and it's in your best interest to give them some kind of a reward for doing it. If you start to see your referral campaign losing steam, then try changing the incentive or try making it more like a game. Give people a new reason to take notice of your request for a referral, and you will see better results. Some things you can try. Change your incentive for sharing every month. That way you can promote the new incentive every month, which is a lot more fun than just asking people for more referrals. Or make your incentive like a raffle. Something like every time you refer someone, you get entered to win 2 tickets to Disney. Your out-of-pocket cost is only about $250, but it's big enough incentive to get people to stop and notice. Plus, you need to communicate to your customers twice with this kind of incentive. Once to let them know about the contest, and second to let them know who won and what the next one is. So again, it's all part of the promoting your referral campaign in a much more exciting way. And last is a referral is a lead, so please treat it as such. If you listen to nothing else I say today, please listen to this. A referral is a lead. It's a great lead. It's a lead from a trusted source, and it's a lead that you have more credibility with than any other type of lead. But if you fail to follow up with that lead, your conversion percentages for those leads will be lower than you might like. Create an automated workflow. Do the work in advance. Have those referral leads automatically receive some sort of an email series that educates them about what you do and what you offer. Remind them along the way that they've been referred by a friend so they don't forget, but offer them a clear call to action to take the next step in every one of your communications. Because unless they were ready to buy what you have to offer the moment they were referred, if you don't do this, you're going to lose the lead. Keep in touch with them in a non-salesy, informative and educationally rich content, and I promise, when that lead is ready to buy what you're offering, you will be top on their list. All right, so we've spent quite a bit of time looking at the difference between word of mouth and referral campaigns, and by now I'm sure you're starting to see that they're both extremely valuable. But since the name of this presentation is How to Generate Warm Leads That Convert, let's spend the rest of our time together focusing on what you need to have a successful and profitable referral campaign. Now, as with anything in life, there's a right way to do something and an easy way of doing something. And very often, right and easy are not the same. When it comes to a referral campaign, there are a lot of variables that come into play to make a campaign successful. But there are basically 3 key elements that if you put them into practice, you are most definitely on the right track. The first, automate the referral process. Over the years, I've often been labeled as the lazy producer. I'm a highly productive person, but I always try and find the easiest way to get things done. Thank goodness, these days, software applications make it possible for us to automate manual tasks that make our lives easier and more efficient. With your referral campaign, if you're using spreadsheets and business cards to keep track of who referred whom to who, I'm about to make your life so much better. There are softwares out there, just like ours here at Expect Referrals, that can manage, track, and automate every part of the referral sharing process. And they all do them in a unique way, which is why When I coach people on referral campaigns, I don't automatically drive them to my software. There's lots of different ways that you can get this done. And all of them do the tracking for you. And all you have to do is log into the software to pull the reports and export data in real time so that you know what's going on with your campaign. As a result of these referral software technologies, you can create more complex campaigns with multiple offers and multiple sharing platforms and still get the reports you need. This kind of tracking is not something you could ever do by hand. Besides, there are more important things you need to be doing than tracking who shares with who. And that's something that you need to be doing is promoting your campaign. We've already touched on this, but let's dig a little bit deeper. Making sure that your referral campaign is communicated properly is a huge factor to your success. And it needs to be communicated consistently since, as we mentioned before, because a referral campaign is more of a passive marketing tactic that should continue to work for you as long as you're in business. If you need a little help coming up with ideas on how to promote your campaign, just think of it like this. In what ways do your customers interact with your business? Do they come into your store or an office? Do they get a receipt from you or an invoice? Do you mail them anything throughout the month? Do you do an e-newsletter? Do you have a technician that goes into their home? Do they sit in a waiting room? Do they sit at a table waiting for food? Do they interact with you on Facebook? Think about all the ways you interact with them throughout the month and put them all on a piece of paper. Then select just 3 of them and come up with a way to mention the referral opportunity as part of one of those and put that message out there on all 3 channels every month. Let's look at an example. Let's go back to the restaurant. So if you're a restaurant, you could, number 1, your customers have to sit there and wait for them to pay their check, so the wait staff could drop a card at the table and encourage them to share while they wait. Number 2, if you have a loyalty club, you can then send an email every month with a featured drink and a featured recipe and a drink pairing, and include a graphic at the bottom of the email that encourages them to share. And number 3, if you buy an ad in like a local neighborhood flyer or a local magazine, include a message about the referral offer with a link to share the deal. But no matter what business you're in, or whether you sell to consumers or other businesses, just find at least 3 times that you can get in front of your customers or clients each month and keep the spirit of your referral campaign alive. And the last key, don't be shy. Stay in touch after the introduction. If you went to a trade show and you collected business cards, would you follow up? If you gave away an ebook on your website in exchange for an email address, would you follow up? Of course you would, because it's the follow-up where the marketing and sales begin to work together. And as we've mentioned before, the initial contact made directly by the referral is a great introduction. The referral needs to know more about you in order to make an informed decision about whether they're going to buy. They need to know pricing and hours and what other people are saying about you, and specifically, what do you do? Instead of expecting them to go do that work by looking it up, I encourage you to have a follow-up email series sent to them with more information about what you offer and a clear action for them to take to either buy from you, call you, or learn more. And a key to referral follow-up success is also automation. Connect that referral lead, wherever you're collecting it, directly to an email delivery system like MailChimp or Constant Contact or Campaign Monitor, and set it up so that the referral follow-up email series automatically kicks off at a specific time after the referral is made. This way, you're doing the right thing to convert those leads, but you aren't adding more work to your plate. Well, by now, you could be in 2 different spaces. Either 1, you're completely psyched about what you can do for your own business with word of mouth and a referral campaign, or 2, you're exhausted thinking about all the work that's ahead of you to get everything set up and going. I get it. And what I know is that we often derive our energy for doing what we need to do from the potential outcome we get. So let's just stop for a second and take a look at some of the statistical data to see if both word of mouth and referral campaigns are even worth your time. Let's start with word of mouth. 74% of consumers identify word of mouth as a key influencer in their purchasing decision. 88% of people trust online reviews by people they don't even know as much as they trust recommendations by the people that they know personally. And 91% of B2B buyers are influenced by word of mouth before they make their buying decisions. And if you're interested where any of these statistics come from, please send me an email and I will send you the source where I got the information. All right, how about referral campaigns? So all the next statistics come from a poll that was conducted by the Nielsen Company. It's a Harris poll online that was done with over 2,000 Americans. Number one, 67% of Americans say they're more likely to purchase a product or service after a friend shares about it on social media or sends them an email. 88% of Americans say they would like some sort of an incentive, money, more product or service, for sharing a product via social media or email, and that number jumps to 95% among millennials. And out of those 88%, 77% said they wanted money, and 18% said they wanted product or swag. At this point, we can all agree that there's a lot of value that can come from word of mouth and referral campaigns. Your customers and your advocates are a great resource to help you reach new people, ones that you may never have reached before. So now it's a choice of how you're going to get this done. We would love to be your partner, and we have a few ways that we can help. One of the aspects of modern marketing that I absolutely love is that there are so many amazing tools that exist that allow you to take care of your marketing needs without hiring outside help or bringing on new staff. That was always our original concept behind Expect Referrals when we built it in 2010. The software is easy to use, there's no development or design skills needed, and if you have the time, the strategy, and the messaging, you can set up your referral campaign in just a couple of hours. If this sounds like you, if you are a DIYer, then you can get started right away. First, you can sign up for a free trial. Just go to expectreferrals.com, and everyone there gets to try the software out for 30 days with no credit card needed to sign up, so there's literally no commitment. And because you're participating in the seminar today, you're actually live on the webinar, you're going to get an email today with a coupon code to get the subscription that you choose for 50% off, which is an amazing deal. We don't often do that. Next, you can sign up for a demo. Maybe you're not ready to sign up for a free trial and you want to see a little more how it works. Well, we offer two options based on what works for you. There's a pre-recorded demo that you can watch at your leisure, and we also offer a live demo every Tuesday at 2 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Again, just head over to expectreferrals.com, go to the support page, and you'll see both those options there. And last, and I promised this in our advertising of today's webinar, you can fill out the referral campaign worksheet. So after the webinar, today as a matter of fact, I'm going to be sending you a worksheet that will guide you step by step through setting up your strategy for your referral campaign. And it will help to organize you so you can get started right away. Go ahead and look for that in your inbox by the end of the day today. And maybe you need a little help with your referral campaign strategy, execution, promotion, or follow-up. Well, if that's you, then we would love to talk. We offer several different ways we can help, from setting up your campaign, just setting it up, or setting up the campaign and the follow-up marketing, to taking on all the promotions so that your campaign is completely done by us and you don't have to do a thing. So if you're interested in finding out if it would be worth it for you to engage with us, again, for today's participants only, we're offering a 30-minute coaching call. And you can find out how to access that in your post-webinar follow-up email. There'll be a link to my calendar, and you can schedule yourself a time that works for you for a 30-minute coaching call. During this call, we will strategize about your business needs, how we can leverage the most from a referral campaign so you can achieve your goals, and decide whether or not you really are someone who needs the extra help, or maybe with a little bit more guidance and a little coaching, you can go ahead and be a DIYer yourself. Now, Expect Referrals is a group of marketers that just wanted to make it easier for people to have effective referral campaigns. So we built the software. We also use our extensive marketing experience to consult, craft, and execute amazing referral campaigns for businesses large and small. It's our sincere opinion that there are a ton of great marketing tactics available to help a business grow above and beyond just referrals. And depending on the type of business you have, the products you sell, and the kinds of clients you work with, not all those marketing tactics will work for all businesses. But referral marketing and social sharing absolutely does. We believe that with a well-structured and promoted referral campaign, you can expect more than referrals. You can also expect brand awareness, more social proof, leads, more web traffic, more sales, better customer experiences, and more customer loyalty. I really want to thank you so much for being here today. Please take the time, send me a message, schedule your 30-minute coaching call. I would love to talk to you. Or just send me a message and let me know what you thought of today's presentation. If you didn't feel like you got the value that you were hoping for, I'd like to know that. And let me know what you think of Expect Referrals. Also, wouldn't be me if I didn't ask you to please Expect Referrals to a friend. You can share with friends via email, Facebook, Twitter, and your own personal sharing link. You can send them a 20% off coupon. Keep the 50% coupon for yourself. And if one of your friends does sign up for a subscription, we will send you a $15 Fandango gift card so that you can go out and go to the movies and enjoy some time on us. You can go to acceptreferrals.irecommendafriend.com in order to do that. And whether you want to refer somebody or not, you can still go there and go through the process just so you can get a feel for how the software works. And one more thing. If today got you thinking about how you get new leads and new customers and you're eager to take the next step, then I encourage you to join me for our follow-up webinar. It's going to be on Thursday, May 26th at 1 o'clock again. It's called The Nuts and Bolts of a Profitable Referral Campaign. And in this next session, we're going to go step by step, educating you on how to build the referral campaign, how to promote it, and then what your follow-up should look like so you can close as many leads as possible. And we're going to go, instead of theory, which is what we talked about a lot today, in this nuts and bolts, we're actually going to talk about examples and how to do it and work through the strategy. And I'll be sending you an email with a link to the landing page for you to sign up. But if you want to secure your spot now, you can go to the bit.ly link on the screen. We're going to keep this next one a little bit smaller. We had over 50 people register for this webinar today, but that one we're going to limit it to 20 because we're going to encourage more interaction so people can ask questions. So you definitely want to go ahead and secure your spot so that you can join us on May 26th. And that is it. I'm going to look over here in the chat box if anybody has any questions. I'm going to stay on for another 5 minutes. Currently, there are no questions, which is great. Maybe that's just because we answered all of your questions without you having to ask. But if no one has any questions, then we'll just say good day for now. And I hope to see you at the next session. And definitely look for emails from me starting today. There's going to be 3 in total, so make sure that you see all 3. And I appreciate you being here. Thanks so much.